continue to reclaim.
Welcome to Special Stage and welcome to Wales for the third round of the BTRDA Mixed Surface Challenge. It's a Nicky Grist stages, of course. Last time out, it was tarmac, very wet tarmac on the Isle of Man. It's all about consistency in this mixed challenge and, of course, showing that you've got what it takes on both surfaces. So who will have what it takes here? Let's have a look at who's in the mix.
Paul Bird leads the cruiserweight with Stephen Petch second. Damien Cole is between cars at the moment, choosing to hire an Evo 9 this weekend. He leads the championship coming into this round by 9 points over Ash Slights, who certainly seems to be going well on both surfaces at the moment.
So they are the contenders. They're the people you need to watch this weekend. All the action right now on Special Stage.
On to the first half of the day then, and it will be the early lead for Paul Bird and Anna Davies. The feeling in the car was good, and the pair were looking like having a better start to an already unlucky season. For Stephen Petch and Ian Windress, it will be second. A new setup on the car, mainly a different gear ratio, was helping them a lot. A bit of a spin on one of the stages didn't help the times, but things were certainly going well at this stage.
Care 2 right and 5 left very loose, into 6 left late, 60 down middle, care 6 right, keep left into hairpin right, don't cut loose, and hairpin left, 100 flat up middle, flat 1 left into small crest flat, 80 flat 1 right, 100 turn 3 right, 3 left through junction, 80 6 left plus long rough, repeat 6 left plus long, 250 down middle, hairpin right rocks inside.
It will be a great start for Sarah Williams and Mark Glenister, although a change of tyres before the final stage of the morning had upset the handling a little and caused a spin and a little lost time as a result. Aaron McClure and Elliot Edmondson were taking it steady after their accident on the last outing, but not too steady, lying in fourth at this stage, just 2 seconds behind Williams up ahead. Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh were enjoying the stages, struggling to get into it for the first couple, but the next few going much better as they lie in fifth, just a further 4 seconds adrift of McClure. Callum Black and Paul Wakely, meanwhile, make a good start, leading the two-wheel drive crews and trying a different style of driving this weekend to look after the tyres. It was clearly working. They lie in sixth. Sadly for Richard Sykes and Emma Morrison, tyres would be the least of their worries to begin with. A spin on the second stage of the day would lose them some time in that DS3 battle. They lie just behind Black at the midpoint and in 7th overall. Something different then for Damien Cole and Jack Morton this weekend, with the focus damaged on the previous Ashfield Championship event and the Fiesta not quite ready. It will be a hired Evo 9 for the pair, getting in some left-hand drive practice ahead of the highly anticipated new car's arrival. 8th place for now. And continuing the good pace this season, it will be 9th place for Ash Slights and Alex Lee. The pair leading the way in the class and looking good for another good haul of points this weekend if they can keep that up. Chris Powell and Jim Lewis make a good start to the event in the Sunbeam, going well on their first visit to the Nicky Grist stages, even if they did have a few moments in the last of the morning stages. Just outside the top 10, it will be 11th for Tim Phelps and Elwyn Manuel. A few changes to the suspension after the morning stages was helping the grip levels in the car. And Lewis Roper and Nick Allison have a problem with the intercom on the opening stages of the day. A temporary fix using the microphone from the road headset seemed to work, and the pair lie in 12th place for now. Nick Carr and Joe Sturdy were getting the season back on track now. A non-finish on round 1 wasn't doing the points any favours, but this weekend was going well, with 13th overall on the leaderboard so far and leading their class. And it will be the class lead too for Matthew Thompson and Charlotte Banner, 14th overall but struggling with a few setup issues this morning, meaning that if they could get things changed and back on track for the afternoon, it was looking good. For Sam Billum and Graham Wild, it will be second in the class, a few places behind leader Nick Carr, just over a minute separating the pair at this stage. Sadly, not the best of starts for Jonathan Jones and Jez Rogers, lying second in the class, just less than a minute behind Thompson. Julian Barnett and Tom Wood make a rare appearance on the gravel, lying in 17th overall on the leaderboard at this stage. And rounding out the results on this morning's stages were Ian Barnard and Richard Bonner, third in Class 2 at this stage as well. So with the morning stages complete, it's the lead for Paul Bird, and with a good close battle in the rest of the top 5 places. On to the afternoon stages then, and no change for Ian Barnard and Richard Bonner, still rounding out the results in 17th on the leaderboard. For Jonathan Jones and Jez Rogers, it will be second in the class. Not the victory they would have wanted or expected perhaps, but some good points. Julian Barnett and Tom Wood reached the end of the rally with 15th overall, 6th in the class. For Sam Billum and Graham Wild, it will be a good end to the weekend, 14th overall, enough to get them second in Class 1 here at the Nicky Grist stages. And Lewis Roper and Nick Allison overcome their earlier problems with a bit of engineering on the spot, with that intercom problem to finish the rally with 13th overall and 4th in the class. It was a good weekend for Matthew Thompson and Charlotte Banner in Class 1, a good result, giving them the class victory and 12th overall. And it will be a class victory as well for Nick Carr and Joe Sturdy. They finished just outside the top 10 in 11th overall, taking the Class 1 victory. Sadly, we lose Chris Powell and Jim Lewis, a coolant leak putting them out of the rally. Tim Phelps and Elwin Manuel meanwhile round out the top 10 at the end of the day, taking third in Class 5 as well. A great day's rallying once again for Ash Lights and Alex Lee, racking up the points as they take yet another class victory, making it 3 from 3, looking unstoppable in the class and moving up the championship standings as well. It's damage limitation for Fiesta driver in waiting Damien Cole, with Jack Morton alongside. The Evo was never going to be a match for their usual car, of course, but 8th place this weekend and 3rd in the class was a few points to add to the total. The morning spin was enough to deny Richard Sykes and Emma Morrison the class victory. For this weekend, it would have to be 2nd in Class 5, 7th overall. Aaron McClure and Elliot Edmondson overcome the nerves after the crash they'd had on the previous round. The confidence building, they finished the rally with 6th overall and a good 2nd in class finish. No problems to speak of for Callum Black and Paul Wakely. It's the Class 5 victory for them this weekend, fastest of the two-wheel drive crews all day. It's a great finish too for Sarah Williams and Mark Glenister. Maximum points in Class 6 here at round 3 and a fantastic 4th place finish overall. It will be a good weekend as well for Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh in that Fiesta, rounding out the podium places at the finish and of course taking 3rd in Class 7 too. For Stephen Petch and Ian Windress in another Fiesta, it will be 2nd place in the R5+. After not being present at round 2, this was a good result to get their championship back on track before heading back onto the asphalt for the next round. But taking victory this weekend for Paul Bird and Aled Davies. A great result and one that was much needed for the pair after 2 non-finishes on the opening 2 rounds of the challenge. But would it be too late to turn that look around? So at the end of 3 rounds here on the Nicky Grist stages, it's Paul Bird with the victory. Stephen Petch has a good weekend with the new setup on the Fiesta, and Steve Simpson in another Fiesta has one of his best results in that S2000 powered car.
The Mueller Rally marked the end of the 2015 REIS Asphalt Championship season, and the title may have been won by Simon Major, but there were plenty of class and overall positions to be decided. The weather was the usual mix expected on Epping, with the day starting under a blanket of fog and ending with a good soaking of rain, meaning that tyre choice played a big part in the results. Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh took an early lead, things finally going their way after some bad luck over the season. Damien Cole couldn't repeat the driver's title, but the co-driver's title was still up for grabs, and a number of people still had a chance, including Jack Morton, so the result here was important. And speaking of that co-driver's title, with Simon Major not present, it will be up to Chris West to try and help John Hawkins with the title. The first time on Epping and the first time on Pace Notes. Things were not really in his favour, but after a slightly cautious start, the pair would put in a fantastic performance to end the event with 8th overall. John Indry finishes the season with a podium place in the Subaru WRC. And with the Darien gone and the WRC box ticked, we would have to wait and see what the Essex driver has planned next. You can catch coverage of the Mueller Rally, the final round of the REIS Asphalt Rally Championship, on the 11th of September on Motors TV, and soon afterwards online. Welcome back to the BT-RDA Mixed Surface Championship. Now the crews have swapped the dry and dusty gravel for wet and slippery tarmac this weekend. So let's have a look and see who's here.
Paul Bird doesn't join us for this round despite being back on winning form. So it's up to Damien Cole to lead the crews away in his brand new out-of-the-box Fiesta World Rally car. Steve Simpson is back in his more familiar Subaru, and we welcome Simon Major back to proceedings here. Damien Cole remains in the lead of the championship after 3 rounds, but it's consistency in the class that means Ash Slights lies just behind him in 2nd. Stephen Petch is back to try and improve on that 3rd place, although without his familiar gravel to play on. On to the first couple of stages then, and it will be the lead for Simon Major and John Hawkins. A slim margin of 2 seconds in the Metro, but a lead nonetheless. For Damien Cole and Jack Morton, it will be 2nd. Only the 2nd time out in a new car, having driven it on a non-championship round recently. But this morning will be about settling into the conditions and finding a good pace. The conditions would mean the same for everyone, of course. Pick your rally cliche. Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh would also make a cautious start, trying to gauge what the grip was out there and how fast they could push. 3rd place for now. Stephen Petch and Ian Windrus had a good result last time out at Otterburn, and today was going well too. 4th place for now, only 8 seconds behind Simpson. Unfortunately, we lose Richard Sykes and Emma Morrison. The conditions get the better of them on stage 2, and they hit a bridge. Sarah Williams and Michael Gilby make the trip north to try and add to the championship points tally. Unfamiliar stages and surface though, but things were going very well so far, it had to be said, in 5th place. Ash Slights and Alex Lee were also making their first trip to Otterburn in the Yaris, and not quite as much of a trip up north for them. The pace was good right from the start. The only problem they had was the car sat on the limiter quite a lot on these stages. It will be another 40 seconds back to 7th place Ian Barnard and Richard Bonner, a place back from Slights overall and indeed in Class 2. Lewis Roper and Nick Allison have a good start to the rally. None of the intercom problems from last time out on the Nicky Grist stages, and things were going well for the pair, in 8th on the leaderboard. Nick Carr and Joe Sturdy were having a good run once again, leading the way in Class 1 and lying just inside the top 10 in 9th overall. Clive Wheeler and Ken Bartram, meanwhile, make a return to the series, having not been out since the opening round. It would certainly be a case of settling back into things at this stage. 10th place, showing that up nicely. And for Andrew and Reg Irving, it would be a lucky escape, with a spin on the morning stages almost ending the rally for the pair. So with 3 stages complete, the results at the top are looking like this. On to the next couple of stages, and there will be no change in the lead for Simon Major and John Hawkins. The lead now 8 seconds. Damien Cole and Jack Morton will be the ones chasing them down. The time's still close, but the Metro pair having the slight advantage over the Fiesta at this stage. There will be some bad luck for Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh. A puncture on stage 6 would see them drop from 3rd into 8th overall. The pair never really having much luck at Otterburn. So that means for Stephen Petch and Ian Windrus, it will be a move into that 3rd place vacated by Simpson. Not quite on the pace of the leaders, but only 1 minute back in that Fiesta R5 Plus from the lead at this stage.
Into crest 4 right, and down 6 left through dip rocks on exit, and keep left into straight crest jump at box, into 1 left over big jump, 80 up, straight crest jump, flat over grid, keep it flat, 80, go on, flat past junction, 20 acute right, don't cut gravel, turn square left over bump, and straight through posts, 170 flat, straight flat crest long, 200 flat, lay by, and deceptive 2 right in over small crest, 80 dip, into straight flat jump, 60, caution 1 left over crest, 1 right over 2 jumps, 60, caution crest 6 left tightens late.
Sarah Williams and Michael Gilby continue to go well on the unfamiliar stages. The Welsh pair 4th place now and looking good for the class and overall points this weekend. Ash Slights and Alex Lee struggle on with the long straights. The 1400 certainly working for its results this weekend. 5th place for now and leading the class. For Ian Barnard and Richard Bonner, it will be 6th. Just a small worry for the pair when the clutch starts to fail at the end of stage 6. Nick Carr and Joe Sturdy keep up the good pace for their class and overall result. 8th place for now, leading, of course, Class 1. And Clive Wheeler and Ken Bartram were still going well, gaining a place in this loop to lie in 9th on the leaderboard. And there'll be no more mistakes for Andrew and Reg Irving, meaning that they lie in 10th place for now. Sadly for Lewis Roper and Nick Allison, a puncture would drop them further down the results into 11th place. So with 6 stages complete here on the tarmac of Otterburn, there is a little change in the top of the results, but not to the lead. On to the final stages of the rally then, and there will be a final scare for Andrew and Reg Irving. A high-speed spin that the pair were lucky to get away with. Sadly, it does move them down to take an 11th place finish. So that means that it's a bit of luck at the end of the day for Lewis Roper and Nick Allison to replace perhaps the bad luck they had earlier on with that puncture. They managed to take that place and move up to round out the top 10 at the end of the rally. Clive Wheeler and Ken Bartram continued their steady pace to the finish, ending the day with 9th on the leaderboard. Nick Carr and Joe Sturdy would be happy with their result here on their first visit to the stages. They take away 8th overall and the class victory. And the clutch issues held out for Ian Barnard and Richard Bonner. They managed to get to the end of the rally with 7th overall and 2nd in Class 2. It's another class victory this weekend for Ash Slights and Alex Lee. The pair looking unstoppable, it has to be said, with 4 wins from 4 events, securing them 2nd in the championship overall standings after round 4. Steve Simpson and Patrick Walsh managed a little bit of recovery from the earlier puncture, ending the rally with 5th. Not the 3rd place they'd held before it, but the best they could do in the circumstances. And it's a great debut on the rally for Sarah Williams and Michael Gilby, taking 4th place in the overall standings at the end of the day, and of course taking the Class 6 victory with it. Stephen Petch and Ian Windrus prove that they can be consistent on both surfaces. With a great run this weekend, the pair securing 3rd, just needing 1 more asphalt score to add to the overall results this season. Unfortunately for championship leaders Damien Cole and Jack Morton, they'd have to settle for second place. They were right on the pace all day, certainly showing that the new car had the potential to get them more points, but for today, there's no victory. But that does mean that it's victory for Simon Major and John Hawkins. Unfortunately, having not been on all rounds, it wouldn't do much for their overall championship standings, but that win will be a welcomed one in that car nonetheless. So at the end of 4 rounds in this mixed surface challenge, the top of the results are looking like this.
Congratulations, another win for the Mixed Surface Championship.
Oh yeah, absolutely pleased with that. It's been a hard rally. We had to push all the way, you know. Damien and Jack were fair play. They were just pushing us all the way. There was no room for error. It was only half spin, a stall or something like that, and so it really did keep us on the toes. You know, mixed conditions as well. I just have to say, big thanks to the team again as usual, and a big thanks to John as well. He's done a great job, really good.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
4 rounds complete. Things are looking good for Damien Cole, and with the next round on Epint, he would surely be a favourite for the win there too. You'd be a brave man to bet against him in that new Fiesta. After the long summer break, the BTRDA Rally Series kicks off again this weekend with the Woodpecker stages. And the remainder of the season will come thick and fast, with only 3 weeks between each of the final 3 rounds of the championship. The recent news of the withdrawal of current championship leader Dave Weston and last year's Woodpecker winner Paul Bird due to motorbike racing commitments, along with Ewan Thorburn missing from the entry, means that this weekend we will see a new name on the list of winners in the 2015 season. But who will it be? Stephen Petch has been in search of some good luck this season. The new setup on the Fiesta R5 Plus worked well on the Nicky Grist. Will it be enough though to get the WD-40 team its first BTRDA victory? Or will this be the weekend that Jamie Anderson or Charlie Payne see their development in the new cars turn into a victory in the BTRDA series? As always, the battles won't be confined to the top of the results. With a healthy and exciting entry in the Silver Star, the 1400s and the Rally First categories among others, there will be plenty of people keeping a very close eye on the results this weekend. The first car leaves Ludlow Racecourse at 8:30 on Saturday morning before returning to the finish at around 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. As always, you can catch our coverage of the event 2 weeks after, along with regular live updates throughout the day on our social media. We'll see you at the weekend. Let's go rallying.
Five right flat in and 6 right continued over clear.